Alright, so we're going to get this garage door replaced. This is a 18 wide by 7 foot tall garage door, and replacing it because there's some issues on the inside, and I also have some issues with the frame. I'll show you that in a second here, but this is what it looks like. This door is 20 years old, and overall the door doesn't look like it's in terrible shape. It has faded quite a bit. It is an insulated door, and it is very heavy. So here's the inside of the door. We bought the house with this door. It's not original to the house, but it came with the house. It was already replaced from the previous owner, and there was some issues from the beginning. The first was the opener, so I just replaced that with a Chamberlain opener. But the other issue was this, is that where the bracket here attaches to the door, that was actually pulled out. So at some point somebody had made up this metal plate here to attach to the door to help lift it. So, and that now is getting loose again, and it doesn't seem to be holding, it keeps pulling out. But the main issue of why I had the guy come out is because I had some rot on the garage door frame. So right down in here, you can see in the middle of the screen there's a drywall screw or a construction screw. Doesn't want to focus, but anyway, right in there. And I put a piece of tin because what had happened is the frame being rotted down in here, a mouse actually made a hole right through there and could get in. So I had him come out to give me a quote to do the frame. And then I just said, can you take a second and look at the garage door? He said, sure. So he pulled the release, and when you lift the door up, it doesn't stay up, it comes back down. And he's like, your springs aren't set right, or you got the wrong size springs. He's like, the door should stay up. And I thought that too, because every other garage door I've ever lifted up, when you pull the release, when your power goes out, the door should stay up, and this door does not, it comes crashing down. So, which is kind of frustrating because I had a different garage door company come in and replace these springs, the torsion springs, because I had one break. So they came in and replaced them, and the door still does the same thing. So they either put the wrong size spring on, or they didn't put enough turns on the spring, which again is frustrating when you pay a garage door company to come in and do that. So this other gentleman that's going to be putting the door in, I saw him doing some work in town here, so that's why I got a hold of him, and he seems very level-headed, and they're going to do a nice job. So, and then, well, the first thing I told him is that was pulling out, and he said it's probably, there's broken structure in the door there. And then he looked at some of the hinges here, which I was like, yeah, I don't know, the hinges seem okay. And if we come down to this one here, you'll see that there's a crack that's formed right there, and he said that's just the stress crack that's starting. And there's a couple other hinges. On the hinge down here too has got one, but he said they'll eventually crack all the way across. But he said the good news is he could replace, they still make the same pattern, that they could replace just the top section of the door, they could replace all the hinges, and that would fix the door. The bad part is the top panel obviously wouldn't match because of the amount of fade from the other three panels. And but otherwise, he's like, the cheapest route is, just replacing the top panel. I said, no, let's just price out a new door. So he actually asked what the insulation was in the walls, or what the wall was, and I said it's 2x4. So he based the insulation on the garage door based on the thickness of the wall. He's like, there's really no reason to oversize the R value on your garage door. So, and I don't know what it is off the top of my head. I'll know once he comes and puts the door in. And then the actual design should be different. It should be large pieces of glass, so there'll be 4 clear with no design in them. The color should be the same, and the insulation in the door will be better than this one, but not like top of the line, because it, like I said, it wouldn't pay. So we'll take a look at it here once he gets everything out. The frame, he's going to replace everything with pressure treated, so I shouldn't have
an issue ever again with that rotting out. That down there lasted over 50 years, so it's a pretty long time. Shouldn't have to worry about it again with pressure treated. All right, so here's the new door. So when they did the frame around, they didn't use pressure treated. They just used standard like a pine, and apparently you can't use pressure treated behind the steel because the steel will react with the pressure treated. Then I'm not sure exactly why that was even an option. So the 1x boards, they replaced all the way around. On the bottom here, I was kind of disappointed because all they did was they cut it out and just put a little stub piece in there. And that's not what I was under the assumption they were going to do. I thought they were replacing the whole thing, but they didn't. To do the frame, it took them 4 hours. And I'll show you the outside how they wrapped that. The actual garage door install, that didn't take very long at all. I'd say maybe 2 hours, if that. I don't know, that I wasn't really timing. That went pretty quick. So the total project for fixing the frame and the door was $2,446, so $2,446. I didn't change the opener, I just left that. I don't know, I talked with a guy at work who was telling me he knows someone that does garage doors for, like, he had a garage door installed for $400, insulated. You can't even buy the doors for that, even if it was a smaller door. This door is a 18x7. I don't know who's installing a door for 400 bucks. That was with an opener. That's not even possible. I don't know how you could be getting it. You can't go to Menards and buy a door for that. Openers are going to be at least 100 bucks. So, but otherwise, it's all airtight and everything. This is, I believe they call it, it's a Haas brand, HAAS 600 series. It's got insulated glass, and it's not as thick as the other door, but the insulation is a better quality that's in there. It's like a spray-in foam, I think, where the other stuff was just that white crumbly styrofoam. All right, so this is what the door looks like from the outside. So everything looks good until you get a little closer, then it's not as hot. So if you remember how the door was, this was actually a wrap that they had on here, a steel wrap. Didn't have this J channel, so they had to take all the siding off, put on a J channel. There's a brick molding that they got on here, and then they use these flat pieces here with these ribs, and then your weather stripping. So it's not what I expected, and you can tell, they caulked everything, and I don't know, the stuff, for the amount of time that they spent here, you think the job would have been a little bit better. I mean, everything's sealed up, but I just think that some of the stuff probably could have been done a little bit better. I guess I'm just really picky with stuff. So, and I don't know, it just seems like every contractor I've had come in and do work, they all like to use a lot of caulk. So the caulk, they use it to hide stuff, and to me, if you do the work right, you shouldn't be using the caulk to hide anything. The caulk is there to prevent water from coming in, or wind. So, I mean, the corner here, everything there looks pretty good. I don't know, it's just that I was told one thing and they did another. It was kind of like the sales guy told me, oh yeah, they're going to do all this great work, and then the guy that actually installs it just decides what he wants to do. And I don't know. Like I said, maybe I'm just too picky with stuff. Okay, so that's going to be it for now. Like I said, the cost of the door was $2,446.